What's up, YouTube? So I just had a flashback moment when Jodeci performed on the Martin Lawrence show. That was funny. They did lately, and then they made it into a spoof because Martin Lawrence came on and started singing all off key and drunk, and Jimmy Fox, not Jimmy Fox, but Tommy Davidson was holding his face, and they was cracking up. That was funny. It's funny because like when you think about those shows and the entertainers that would crash them and how that thing took place, and it gave it a whole different life. That just puts you in a certain frame of mind. And then of course you see Gina Tisha Campbell's Martin's wife on the TV screen. The character Gina was up there cringing in the audience. That was hilarious. He came out with the W beater on. Martin was all singing all off key and all drunk, and it was hilarious. You know, you missed that. You missed that. That's what we call a black iconic moment. To see Jodeci. Well, see, first of all, Jodeci wasn't gonna ever be on no show like Friends and nothing like that. So it was gonna have to go to Martin, but it was cool. They was all serious. Casey and Jojo was all in cadence. Devontae's on the keyboard. Mr. Dalvin on the drums. And they was all in their mood. And here come Martin come down that stairway. They said it was unrehearsed. That's what made it so cool and funny because you could actually feel that there was tension. They was like, who is this jive turkey coming down here, mess it up, sounding all off keys and just dropping to his knees? That was hilarious. We miss those kind of pop culture moments where we have those kind of situations where you just you get into the moment and you reminisce about what it was like because that was the last of the golden era, I think, of R&B and hip hop before technology took over completely was the 90s. People don't like to hear it because it ain't fashionable to say, and you can sit there and be how you are in your feelings. Now obviously I can tell you the 60s, 70s, 80s were incredible musically, but the 90s was the last time where you had without knowing and the authentic and everything that came with it. So I laughed really hard. I I cracked up. I thought, wow, that was funny. I like stuff like that because you know, it just really hit the spot. And it was just really something that, you're like, wow, they really did that. That was hilarious. So, I just thought to myself, man, that is funny. You know, sometimes you're looking for things to take you back a certain way and put you in the frame of mind of something. And when you see it, it's like, wow, that really hit the spot. That was like so, mm, that was like crazy, but in a real cool way. In a real cool way, you know. Um, those were the days. Those were the days. There were so many memories like that when people will perform or do things, and then Martin Lawrence was at the apex of his game back. That's when he was funny. That's when he was funny. He couldn't almost do no wrong because Martin was the show, and he was doing all kinds of things, and it was just really in tune to what was happening. So it was cool to see, and you know, it was what a flashback. And they were talking about an interview, and the fact that they so stand still and keep a straight face makes it even funnier because to hear them talk about it and they were like they really were gonna go at him and yet they kept a straight still face was that made it even funnier. So yeah, Jodeci on the Martin show was hilarious. So many Martin moments too when you think about it. So anyway, let me know what you're thinking. If you remember the show, let me know. Please hit like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.